Coach said you played 59 snaps
Yeah.
against Ohio State. Was that a little bit more than you were expecting to play? And having watched on film, how did you assess how you played?
Based off of expectation, with Justin's injury that finally came out to the blood book, I mean, it's really just next man up around here. Like, we pride ourselves on the depth, and I mean, not to say I was ready for it, but it's not the first time where I've had to been thrown in. Back in 2018, my first year here with Levitt, Lana told me when I first came here, learn both positions. So I mean, you can just be valuable. So that's what I kind of did these 4 years, and I got on the field late in ASU and helped the team win that game in 2018. So I mean, this isn't my first time coming in an injury, but I mean 59, yeah, that's a lot. I know it was going to be me, Noah, Keith most of the game, but I mean Keith kind of cramped up a little bit. So I mean, I know I just had to step up my game and help the defense win. I mean, we pride ourselves in the fourth quarter to win every ball game. So I mean, I just knew I had to step up.
How good of a mentor was Lana back then, and has he kind of paved a little bit of a way from the walk-on to playing a lot and being a main guy?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, I know you guys all seen that video of him on the big board with his mom getting the scholarship. So I mean, when I walked on here in 2018 coming from JUCO, I said, I mean, that was one of my goals, to finally get put on scholarship. And I mean, he was great. He kind of showed me the ropes, showed me how to be successful here, a big time program like this. But I mean, yeah, he was awesome. He was one of the nicest guys, nicest human beings, and one of the best teammates, to lead the way for young guys. And that's what I'm trying to be here now that I'm an older guy, just pave the way for guys like TJ and Micah Roth, who's getting some run on special teams. I mean, I got to show those guys what it takes to, be in the position where I am today. So I just want to keep bringing the younger guys with me.
Can you walk me through some of what happened after high school and why you walked on? What other opportunities did you have?
Yeah, so I went to Jesuit High School in Portland. I was a 3-year starter. We won state. Me and Jordan Happel were on that team. That was some good times. So after high school, I knew I wanted to play D1 football. That was one of my goals. I mean, I was a state champion, and I said, why not me? Why can't I go play D1? So I mean, I trusted myself. My parents, I got to thank them because they kind of pushed me through junior college, because junior college isn't it's a road less taken than a lot of people. So I went to Monterey Peninsula College, junior college in I think that was fall of 2016. And then after a year, I went to Arizona Western down in Yuma, Arizona. And then after that, I had a lot of D2 opportunities, but like some walk-ons, a couple FCS. But I mean, I was like, hey man, I didn't come this far just to come this far. So I mean, I'm gonna bet on myself again. It worked out in the junior college ranks. So I walked on at Oregon in 2018 with Tyler Walker, who's now he's a scout for Jaguars now. He was kind of my in, and he was my youth football teammate. So I mean, that was kind of my journey to Oregon. And then once I got here in 2018 in the spring, it was kind of the rest was history.
You've had a lot of different position coaches too.
Yeah.
What have you learned specifically from all those guys who you've had come through here?
So it started with Levitt, and he was a linebackers coach at San Francisco. So I mean, we always watched film of Patrick Willis and Navarro Bowman, and I mean, those are big shoes to fill when they're talking about like, we need you to be like this. But I mean, hey, I just took the challenge head on, and like I talked about Lana and Troy Dye, like they were huge mentors to me, and even like Isaac Slade and Samson, who were there before me. I mean, they all told me, just keep working. You're gonna get your time. I mean, there's so many people who can go down at any moment. I mean, you pray that you stay injury free, but I mean, injuries are gonna happen. It's football. But I mean, they just kind of paved the way for me. And like Lana told me, you want to learn both positions so you can be more valuable to the team. My dad's told me that, Coach Levitt told me that, Coach Wilson told me that, Lana, everyone. So I mean, that's kind of one thing I pride myself on, is being the smartest kid in the room. And so I mean, I guess that's how I'm on the field now, because I can switch back from Mike and Will.
When you do get the scholarship last year, do you have to challenge yourself at all? Like, hey, that wasn't just the goal. Like, kind of keep your foot on the gas. Like, don't get satisfied with just getting a scholarship, because you want to still be a player who has a role on the team.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I kind of still looked at myself as a walk-on. I wanted to keep that walk-on mentality, because I mean, we're the hardest workers on the team, and we get no shine. I mean, we didn't have any stars. So I mean, I wanted to keep that mentality and say like, hey man, like I didn't like I said before, I didn't come this far just to come this far and get put on scholarship. I want to keep working. I want to develop into an NFL prospect one day. So I mean, I said I got to keep working like I am. Like that's how it got me to a scholarship. So I mean, if I keep working like this, then sky's the limit for me.
You guys talk about a next man up mentality, but you have about a 72-hour period last week where Drew gets hurt.
Yeah.
Then you find out Justin's hurt.
Yeah.
Just how chaotic does that feel? Bosses moving down.
Right.
Guys are just being pushed in different roles. How chaotic or not does that feel as a room to sort of deal with all that and kind of regroup?
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty crazy 72 hours, like you said. But, I mean, me being an older guy, me and Noah, we were kind of the leaders of the room. And, I mean, next man up. Like, Jackson went down early in camp, so it was Justin had to step up, me had to step up, Drew had to step up. So, I mean, it's really just bringing the younger guys with us, because, I mean, me and Noah know the defense like that. but I mean, we want everyone to know it so we can just fill in guys. I mean, I know Coach Wilson is pretty happy with his guys because we have a pretty good room in there when it comes to like football smart, I could say. And I mean, I know he's pretty happy with us, just bringing the younger guy with us. And I mean, next man up, really. I mean, that's Oregon football for you.
When you transferred in here from Arizona, was it a case of you having to sell Levitt and that staff on you coming here, or did they reach out to you, or how did that ball kind of get rolling?
So I mean, I saw Coach Joe at practice like half the time because one of my teammates was committed to Oregon at the time. But I mean, like I said, Tyler Walker was kind of my in, and Coach Keith Hayward, he was like the first guy to watch it, and he called me, said, hey, we want you to come down to Oregon, because I lived up in Portland at the time. And he said, I mean, we liked your film, Levitt liked your film, so we just want to come talk to you. And then so I came here, talked to Levitt, talked to Cristobal, talked to Hayward. So I mean, the ball was kind of just rolling from there. And at that time, in linebackers room was pretty banged up. It was only like Isaac, Lana, Troy, Sampson. So I mean, they needed some bodies. So I mean, I came there as a body, but I knew I had bigger goals for myself when I first came here.
Can you give us your best JUCO story?
Oh man.
Or worst, depending on your definition.
I'll give you two. So one of my first drives with JUCO, I had a 103-yard pick six at Monterey Peninsula College. So that was kind of like the highlight of my first year. And then my second year, we were number 101 in the country at the time, and we had to drive 12 hours to Snow College to play a league game against the number 5 team in the country. So after practice Thursday, we got on a bus, drove for 12 hours, stopped at the Hoover Dam in the way in Las Vegas, played there on Saturday, and then right after the game at 7 p.m. we drove 12 hours back just to have 1 p.m. meetings after we got back to Arizona at 12. So I mean, that's why I take no days for granted here, because I mean, this is a blessing just to be at this level, playing at the highest level. I mean, they treat us so well here, and I mean, it's a dream come true every day to play for Oregon.
It's maybe a little bit cliche, and I know you said you still kind of have that walk-on mentality, but
right.
Do you, take that JUCO chip on your shoulder and still have that, like, hey, I was sleeping on a 12-hour bus ride a couple years back, and now look where we are?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, going to Monterey my first year, I didn't know what was going to come out of it. And I mean, just talking to my parents, I mean, my dad was my coach from K through 12, and he always said, know your job, do your job, and try to be perfect. So I mean, that's kind of the mentality I keep every day when it comes to football. I mean, yeah, I mean, it's humble beginnings for me. Like, I was playing in JUCO. I just got to remind myself every day, like, hey, look at this place. Like, I'm at the best of the best facilities in the country, best coaches in the country, Nike University. So I mean, I just got to keep reminding myself, like, my roots, so I keep myself humble if my head ever gets too big, which I hope it never does.
With all these freshmen that maybe have to learn the playbook, haven't played a lot, how can you be most impactful in developing them and getting this group to maximize itself?
I mean, just based off the depth chart you see, it's a lot of freshmen. I mean, Keith's really been stepping up. I was really happy with the way he played. I mean, it's all about trust in the linebacker room, because we have to call the defense. I mean, me and Noah are making the calls every play, but I mean, we need someone next to us, we trust. And I mean, more and more, with more days come on, I mean, we trust these guys more and more each day. I mean, it's all about a 1-2, and if you play linebacker, you got to want to play football. I mean, because you're calling defense, you're playing run, you're playing pass, you got to know it like that, or else there's going to be mistakes. So I mean, with linebacker, you just got to. I mean, it was with Jeff too, like Jeff coming from nickel and Jabril coming from outside. Like me and Noah know, like, we got to help them out more. But I mean, they're gonna get it. They're football players. But I mean, it's just all about reps now. I mean, they came over like 2 weeks ago to the linebacker room. So I mean, you can see improvement every day. Like, Jeff's making plays out there, Jabril's making plays out there every day. So I mean, it's really just like keep coming them with you, helping them out if they need something extra. But I mean, really just all the extra film. I mean, we got linebacker-led meetings on Monday, so I mean, we just got to come with us. That's what Coach Wilson always says, come with us. So I mean, they just got to come with us and keep working at it, because eventually they'll get it and they'll be really trusted and they'll get primetime minutes. So
how much have you improved since high school as far as speed, strength? Were you really mature as a high school player, or have you increased that a lot since you've been here?
I was a little undersized in high school. I came out at like 215, and then I got up to 230 when I got here, but it wasn't the best weight. But I mean, Coach Fell is the best in the country, and I think just constantly working, and I mean, I've been here 4 years. I mean, with this nutrition and with this strength program, I think I've got really, really stronger, faster every day. So I mean, I'm really proud of myself for the way I've kind of took this and matured. And I think one thing that I really want to harp on is diet. A lot of the freshmen coming here think they can eat whatever, but I mean, diet's everything. Like, if you treat your body well, your body's going to treat you well. So I mean, I've really just focused on my diet, focus on doing extra work at home, stretching before I go to bed every night. It's the little things that make a difference. So
When you say not the best weight when you first got here, was it just like a dirty bulk to just try to get big enough to play at this level?
Oh yeah, I mean, I knew I needed to be heavy to play. I mean, there's running backs who are still bigger than me out there. So I mean, I know I had to bring weight, and I mean, you saw the Ohio State online; they were huge. So I mean, I know I got to bring 100% every time I take on a block. So I mean, it was just getting like my body ready to perform, because I know I can perform. It's just I just needed my body to come with me, because my mental's there, but it's all about the body at this level.
Does being a little bit undersized help you maybe instruct Basa or Jeff coming over, because he's a little under 220, I think. Does that help at all in terms of how you can maybe tell him to approach things?
I mean, kind of. Like, I pride myself in coverage, because I mean, I'm playing a lot of boundary now next to Noah, because he's mainly the Mike. And like when you're in the boundary, you don't have a nickel to help you out. So I mean, it's really just me, DJ, and Steve Stevens over there. So I mean, I pride myself in coverage to lock you down over there to the boundary. But I mean, just being a little undersized, you just gotta want to really. I mean, you see these big guys, but you can't be intimidated at all. You just got to bring it. Like Jeff, he's used to playing nickel and playing more in space. But I mean, I tell him every day, just got to be physical, use your hands. I mean, you really just got to bring it if you're a little undersized.
Hey, with Keith Brown, I mean, you know better than anybody how hard it is to make the jump from 5A, 6A Oregon football to this level. What have you seen him do particularly well with that?
I mean, it was definitely rough for Keith because he didn't play last year. But I mean, he's been great so far. I mean, he came in spring, which was huge. I mean, everyone who comes in early, that's huge for them. So I mean, I think he's really good, because he's a pretty big backer, and he's very physical. I mean, I think he's very good at that, and it's really just like a mind thing for him, like, because he knows defense pretty well now. So I mean, just keeping him going. I mean, it's all about reps at this level. Now that he's getting more reps, he's going to be. I mean, in 4 years, he's going to be one of the best linebackers in the country. So I mean, I'm excited to see him grow.